Hi all, welcome back to our next video. In this video, we are going to discuss about two important YAML file, deployment.yaml and service.yaml, which gets created when we create and deployment in Kubernetes cluster. Now this video is a part of video series Journey to Microservices Architecture. So if you want to understand this context in better way, please subscribe this channel and play previous videos of this playlist from beginning. So let's start to understand deployment.yaml and the service.yaml in Kubernetes cluster. In previous videos, we have seen when we created and deployment in Kubernetes cluster, we use command kubectl create deployment. And when we wanted to expose this application to the external world, we use command kubectl expose. But if you remember, we did not create any YAML file during this deployment process. But Kubernetes has created two important files. First one is deployment.yaml when we executed command kubectl create deployment, and another is service.yaml when we executed command kubectl expose. Now let's try to see first where those files exist in Kubernetes cluster, and then we will see what are their significance and how these files are used in deployment process. Okay, and let's open our command prompt. Now, in previous video, we have seen how to connect from our local system to our Kubernetes cluster. Now, let's see if everything is working by typing command kubectl get deployment. And yes, we are connected to our Kubernetes cluster. Now, you can see here, this is the deployment name of our application, kubectl get pods. You can see here, 3 pods are running. Then we will type command kubectl get deployment -o wide just to see further details of our deployment. Now, as you can see here, it has added a label with this name. 3 instances are available, 3 pods are running. Then this is the container name, this is the image name, and so on. Okay, and then let's type a command kubectl get deployment -o YAML. Enter. And now you can see a long YAML file, and this is the YAML file which gets created when we execute the command kubectl create deployment. Now you can see here, this is the deployment file, deployment.yaml. It has different annotation. We will go through it one by one, but at this moment just see that okay, YAML file is created. Now let's try to import this file in our project. So for that, I will come back to our Eclipse project. I will go to this location first. Just copy the path of our project, cancel, cd. Yeah. Now we are at our project location, and then let's type command -o YAML and copy it to the file with name deployment.yaml. Enter. Yeah. And now let's see if it gets imported to our project. Just refresh this project, and now you can see deployment.yaml is imported to our project. Fine. Similarly, we will import service.yaml as well. And for that, type command kubectl get service. First, we will see that file here. You can see service.yaml. This is service.yaml, and this file gets created when we execute the command kubectl expose. right? Now let's try to import this file as well to our project. Get service, and we will say service.yaml, and here I want to import service YAML file. Yeah, okay. Now it is imported as well. Now let's refresh our project, and we can see no, why not? Yeah, it is there, service.yaml. Now let's try to understand both these files. Okay, now let's see this deployment.yaml in Eclipse and service.yaml. Yeah, the kind of service.yaml is service, and the kind of deployment.yaml is deployment. You can see so many details in these two files, but we will explore it step by step. But at the moment, what we will do, we will try to make some changes in deployment.yaml, and we will try to apply those changes on our Kubernetes deployment. Okay, now let's try to make this replica number from 3 to 2. So there should be 2 pods on our application when we apply this deployment.yaml on cluster, right? And for that, come back to our cmd. Let's type command kubectl apply -f, and then say deployment.yaml. Okay, so we are at the current location where we have this deployment.yaml, and then we will try to apply this deployment.yaml on our current cluster. Enter. Now as you can see here, deployment extensions hello world REST API configured. Now let's see if it is really applying our changes. kubectl get pods, and yes, you can see here, no, there are only 2 pods. Previously there were 3 pods, right? So this is how we can really apply the YAML file, or we can use the YAML file while deployment of our application. Okay, now this deployment.yaml is auto-generated. So it has so many tags, probably it is not required, or it is not required to understand all those tags, right? So what we will do, we will just try to keep it simple as we required, and we will try to explore that tags only. Fine. So what we will do, we will just remove the unnecessary tags. For example, we don't need annotation, so I will delete this annotation. I don't need creation timestamp as well. I don't need this generation, so I will remove it. Yes. Then we need labels. We need this one. We don't need resource version. We don't need self link. We don't need UUID. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then from the specification, we don't need progress deadline seconds. We'll remove it. We will keep replicas as it is. Remove this tag. Selector we need. It is important. Strategy also we will keep it as it is. From the template, we don't need this creation timestamp. Labels we need. Then from again containers, we will keep image name, image pool policy, name, resources. We will remove it. We will remove this one as well. We will remove this one as well. Then DNS policy, we will keep it as it is. Restart policy, always we will remove this scheduler name. We will remove this one, and we will keep this as it is. Okay, and then from status, okay, and we will also delete this DNS policy. And then for the status, now as you know, status is always and dynamic, so it will always generate these properties dynamically. So we will just remove it because we do not want it as a part of our deployment. Just remove it, and that's it. Now you can see our simple deployment.yaml, and which contains only the necessary tags. Then let's update service.ml. Before that, there is some correction in the command when we imported service.ml. Just we forgot to add deployment name here. So you can just correct it and import the file once again. So in service.ml, we need these tags. Creation timestamp, we don't need it. We will keep label as it is. Name, namespace. Resource version, we don't need it. Self link, no. UID, we will remove it. Cluster IP, we don't need it. External traffic policy, we will remove it. Specification, we will keep it as it is, and yes, and we will remove the status. So done. We have updated our service.ml also. Now this is the minimum tag which we need to understand from service.ml, and this is the minimum tags which we need to understand from deployment.ml. Now at next step, what we will do, now these are two different files which are created by Kubernetes for two different resources, right? One for the deployment, another for the service. Now what we can do also, we can just copy the contents of service.ml, and we can also append these details into, just small correction, we can also append this in deployment.yaml as well. No, so that we can have only one YAML which we can deploy there. I will just save it, and then we can simply ignore this service.yaml. Okay, now let's see deployment.yaml at the broader level. This is the API version item. This is the kind is deployment, that is deployment.yaml. This is the metadata, and this is the name of the deployment. You can see here, this is the name of the deployment. Okay, then for specification, this is the details of the replica. Again, replica also has the same name, hello world REST API. Then strategy, this is used when we upgrade our application to the newer version. Then this strategy, we can change this strategy as well. Then template label, it is the name of the strategy again, and this is the specification where we have to specify the image name, right? So you can notice one thing, for all the resources it has same name, like this is the deployment name, this is the replica set name, this is the strategy name, and this is the container name, right? So if we in case of service also, we will see this is the name of the service, it also has the same name, and yeah, in selector also it has same name. So in short, if we want to delete the deployment which we currently have on the cluster, we can delete it using the name hello world REST API. So we will delete all the resources having name hello world REST API, and it should delete our all the deployment pods, replica sets, and all the resources having the same name. Okay, so let's try. Come to our command prompt and execute this command, kubectl delete all -l app is equal to hello world REST API. Press enter, and you can see the pod, both the pods are deleted, service is also deleted, and deployment is also deleted. Now let's see, let's verify using it kubectl get all, and you can see here all the other resources are deleted. Only one resource remains, and it is showing the cluster IP, external IP. I mean, it is just an cluster details. That's it, right? So now let's try to use our current deployment.yaml to create this deployment once again. And for that, we will just use this command, and let's say enter. Okay, and then execute the command kubectl get all, and let's see what are the resources those are created. See, two pods are created, service also created, load balancer is also created, and deployment is also created, right? So now our application is completely up and running. And if I use this external IP address to hit our application, we can see our application is healthy and running. So we can really deploy everything using this single deployment.yaml. So this is not everything from deployment.yaml and service.yaml. We need to learn more about these two YAMLs in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching this video. Please like it, subscribe it, and see you in next video. Bye bye.